Welcome everyone. Today we have a new farming guide for Diablo 4. Looking behind me, this is one of the images sent to me by one of the viewers. So this is a level 844 weapon that is droppable and also farmable. So over here you can see in my inventories, I have been trying to farm this weapon and I have collected over like 20 of those weapons. Now the best ones I have gotten is 814. And what I want to do is, I want to go through this video briefly to show you guys where to farm for this monster and how you can potentially get a really high weapon. So I'm not saying you're guaranteed to get 844 weapon, but if you farm over here, you have a chance of getting over 800 very easily. And if you keep going, you can be getting 810, 820 or maybe 830. And if you're really lucky, you may be able to get 840. So I'll show you guys over here. So I've been farming for this monster for a while and the results are pretty mixed. I'll give you guys the best advice of resetting this monster and also farming for this monster for more loots. So coming over to this image sent to me by the viewer. So notice that the sword name is called Infernal Edge. And if you guys remember previously, we have had a guide to talk about this. This is actually a guaranteed drop from one of the unique monsters that spawns on the map. Now this monster is located over here, so I'm using one of the interactive maps, and the best way to travel to this monster is by coming over to this teleportation with Azulada. I'll show you guys in game as well. So here I'm at the town portal, right? So let me go back to my town portal. I'll show you guys the monster. And then we talk about how often does the monster respawn and what is your chance of getting a level 800 plus item. Oh, it respawned. Let's kill it. Let's see what happens. Now, one of the better ways of you farming this monster is having your friends joining you as well, because everyone will get a drop of this weapon. So if he gets it, he can drop it to me. And similarly, if you have a party of 4 players, this is, 4 times the drop rate, right? So let's have a look what we get. And it takes a while to kill it. Okay, Ancestral, not bad. So the chance of getting Ancestral, I got a 789 Ancestral. So here I'll show you guys some of the best ones I got. 814, 810 and also 801. And this took me about 15 minutes to farm this many sword. Now over here, my friend also shared me with one of the Chinese posts of one of the Chinese players who actually found this sword and is using this sword for the Necromancer. Now one of the things you can notice is that if you farm the sword constantly, you'll eventually get the 844. Now of course, we have no idea how long it took this player to farm the sword, and this is a +5 sword, right? So 844 plus 225. And you can see this sword is rolled into maximum stats for 84 maximal, and also it's rolled into 180 intelligence, and also 72 increased damage to vulnerable to injured enemies. So let me briefly go through the steps with you guys. So what you want to do is, you first come over here to this town portal, and then you travel over here to this spot where my friend is. And if you guys are wondering, I have the interactive map ready for you guys. So come to the interactive map, click the unique monsters, and this will appear. And this is the monster you want to be farming. Now the monster itself is very easy, but the respawn time is a little tricky. Sometimes it takes less than 30 seconds for the monster to respawn. Sometimes it will take about, 2 or 3 minutes. So over the duration of 15 minutes, I was able to kill at least 5 or 6 of this monster, and the results were mixed. And what I started to do is, I start to invite a lot of friends over to see if we can get more drops. And of course, everyone gets a sword, because this sword is guaranteed drop. But do keep in mind guys, you may be seeing more secret sword, and also you may be seeing some ancestral sword. So it is quite random, you can be getting some really good items or some social items. Now over here, I'll have the replay to show you guys when I got the 814 sword. Now looking at this sword, so there's 2 things about this weapon. The first thing is, notice that this weapon comes with only 3 FX. Most of the weapon in the late game will come with 4 FX. So if you're going for this weapon, the attack damage will be very high if you can roll into it. But the downside is, these will have a fixed FX. So you can get all stats, you can get the increased damage to injure enemies, and also you can get execute chance. Most players will reroll the 3rd one. So if we come over to the Oculus, I want to show you the advantage of using this sword, but also there's a downside. The downside of course is that you have fixed FXs. The advantage is that the sword will have a really high base attack, and on top of that, you can reroll the sword for super cheap. It is designed in the game that those items doesn't sell for any gold, and because of that, their reroll cost is really cheap. Now of course, you still will be needing your Forgotten Souls and your rare items. But the cost of rerolling the sword is almost minimum. It's only 6 gold. So I'll show you guys over here. Again, be aware guys, you still need materials to be rerolling this weapon. But ideally, if you do plan to use this type of weapon, you can reroll this infinite times as long as you have the Forgotten Souls, and this will allow you to reroll into the max roll for any of those weapons. And this is the advantage of using this weapon. And here we have it guys, so this is the sword I got from the vendor, and those are the sword I got from farming for 15 minutes. So you can see there's some really nice over 800 level items, but there are some lower ones as well. You can see half of my items were ancestral grade, and other half is secret grade. And before we finish, let me quickly show you guys if we got lucky with a new vendor. I haven't checked the vendor yet, so nope. Nope. So yes, make sure you check the vendors. Sometimes you get some really good items. Now the vendors over here also sells items, sells gears. So do keep in mind guys, I forgot to mention last time, there is a vendor next to the blacksmith that will sell gears as well, if you're looking for vendor refresh. And finally there's a weapon vendor, and let's have a look, 798. It's a social hammer. So those are the ways you can be getting more higher grade items as you play the game. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed, it is a really good time to do so, because I'll be covering tons of Diablo 4 related topics and also videos and also guides. We'll be looking to the top meta builds, non-meta builds, leveling up, and also Paragon tricks. We're also looking to the latest events and also official updates, and also changes to different characters and also different builds in the game. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn the notification on, because a lot of you who are watching the videos have not subscribed. You can see 80% of the viewers who are watching our videos have not subscribed, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for the latest update for Diablo 4. Now what I do over here is I'll provide you guys with my testing replay for about 4 to 5 minutes. It is shortened, and this is a summary of how I was farming this monster. Now I was trying to reset the servers, but it wasn't working. So if you guys find a way to reset the servers, it is much quicker. But if you don't find a way to reset the servers, the monster will come back around 1 to 3 minutes, and you can be farming this monster and try out your luck.
need something blessed? Cursed, perhaps?
Now, in case you guys didn't know, I'll be live streaming on Twitch again, and I have just started. So make sure to come over to the links below to join us on Twitch live to say hi, maybe ask me questions or share any tips with the viewers. And while you're here, make sure you follow. And if you do have your Twitch Prime, this is a really good time to use your Twitch Prime over here, supporting us with Twitch Prime. And yes, guys, join us as I test build for Diablo, and also join us as you play the game and also farm the game. So stay a while and also listen. We'll also be doing some giveaways and also special viewer events in the Diablo as well. Maybe we do PvP and also related events in the game as we get to the end game, and also help players to go through the dungeons.